Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sunless Sea. Now in this episode we're going to be making some quick cash, and since last time, since episode 1, I have explored the local area, getting the lay of the land. This will be different for you, but the most important place is here, the Salt Lions and Visage. There are a couple of other places that we can get quick cash, but I haven't found them, so I'm going to show you Salt Lions and Visage now. As we set sail, no, before I set sail I need to buy supplies at the shops, just so no one starves. Doop. Done. Right, onwards. As you might be able to tell from the money that I've got, the echoes, I've already done a couple of runs of the Salt Lions cargo, which is basically allowed me to upgrade both my cannon and my light, which gives me a slightly bigger arc, and I think +1 to mirrors. There are better lights than this, but seeing as I am playing as a Veils-based character, which is all about deception and hiding, most of the other lights reduce Veils in some way, to some degree, so I'm going to just stick with this one for the moment. It's perfectly serviceable, and I don't see any reason to upgrade it right now, especially as we are going to be saving up our money so that we can go and do even more money making in hopefully an episode soon after this. Oh, there's a pirate. Hello. Am I going in the right direction? I feel like I'm not going in the right direction, but I am. It'll be fine. There's a series of light boys on the way. And as long as I don't get attacked by like a giant crab or something, we should be fine. Although, no, okay, right. Go straight towards him. I don't know what his firing arc is like, honestly. I think they might have an aft weapon. I wonder if we can take this guy down. I think we're okay, as long as we stay behind him. I usually just run away from these, so I don't actually know how good they are. But we have the advantage here, so let's press it. Wow, how am I not losing hull from exploding? Oh my god, he's reversing. I just need one more hit. One more hit. And go! Yes! Pirate frigate destroyed. 2 fuel, 2 supplies, and a cache of curiosities. What have we got? Cask of mushroom wine. Oh, we can sell that. Oh, and that's something I should have done as well. Because, if I show you on the map, Gator's Morn here is on the way to the Salt Islands. It's usually reasonably profitable to grab a few casks of mushroom wine, because I think the profit is 2 echoes per cask of mushroom wine. It's not amazing, but it's a bit of extra cash, and it's kind of on the way, so it depends on how you want to spend your supplies, because going straight to the Salt Lions and not blowing up frigates and stuff like that is probably a much cheaper way, because obviously you make lots of money, but you also spend a little bit of money getting the supplies back, and I don't know, spending things to reduce terror, that sort of thing. On the other hand, I quite like taking every opportunity to make money as I can. And also there's a really awesome storyline that I'm going to show you on the Visage, the island of Visage even. Hear the wilder airs. Oh god, giant crab. I was going to say the thing the logbook is saying, but turn off your lights. Run away. No, it's seen us. Whatever, turn your light on so you don't go crazy. Bonkers. Entirely bonkers. No. Turn off the light and run away. We've got high enough veil, so we should be able to evade him eventually if he doesn't keep on charging after us. Oh, avoid the jellyfish as well. There we go, can't see us. Terrorism. That's not too bad. I think we've safely avoided that. And the jelly fleur Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. There's no way here. Blah. Right, turn the light back on. What did we end up with? 9 terror, that's pretty good. Could have been way worse. Could have been eaten by a giant crab instead of going crazy. It was one or the other. Okay, the salt lions. Now, here is where we get our sphinxstone. You need 200, and this is why I urge you to save your money up from gathering port reports, where you give them into the Admiralty and stuff like that. And if we compile a port report, that's actually a good idea. There we go. Lovely. Grab some sphinxstone. 20. You can carry more, but with the basic ship that you have, that you can only carry 40 cargo. But yeah, with supplies and everything, you can't carry 2 loads. Our job here is done. We've got money to make. And there is a very quick and easy quest line to get 1,000 echoes just down here. And it's a really cool island because you get to play as in a kind of theatre, and that's like what everyone on the island does. And you'll see in a bit. Man, that ship is really, it looks like a barge more than a ship. It's like, I don't know what the scale of this is, but I'm guessing it's not as big as a house. Although it might be. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Here we are. Visage. It's a giant face! Ding dong! There is something awaiting us at port. Somehow we heard a distant bell in the middle of the ocean. But as long as we stick to Visage, I think we'll be safe from distant bells. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, the port of Visage. This is where things get interesting. Compile a port report, because that is an easy way of getting, 10 echoes, I think? What we need to do now is go to Visage and check in at the customs house. All visitors must wear a mask. In an assortment of shapes, they have different significances. I need to remember whether I have the required story elements for this. I have done a little bit, but choosing the frog mask is an easy way to do it. So if we choose the frog mask, we are playing the part of a curious and oafish outsider. You kind of have to play the role. The moon moth lifts the mask and places it over your head. The eye holes are large and they're fitted with spectacles. This improves your view of the environment, though you must look bulb-eyed from the outside. There is also a mechanism attached to the mouthpiece, which magnifies any sound you make, even your breathing. You start to thank the moon moth, and it comes out as a booming croak. May you profit from your visit in knowledge, says moon moth. Its wings fold neatly over its back. Aha! Yes, we need to gain as many expertise in parts as we can, and we do that by going to the various places that, 2 places that we can go so far. If we go to the Library of Parts, we can actually ask about the purpose of this room. Moonmoth explains, people think it means something like Library of Fragments, but this is wrong. The parts in question are like parts in a play. This is where the denizens of Visage come in order to learn how to perform their masks more accurately, more completely, with a truer spirit, and not stumble over their words. I think we can do both of these, but if we study the scrolls in a bumbling way, they look very old after all. Taking the nearest, you read it aloud. For guarding against the loss of the heart, the moon moth takes it from you, rolls it tightly, and returns it to its niche. There are as many ways of guarding against the loss of the heart as there are different masks, it explains, in that same light and in different voice. But we do have +1 visage, experts in parts. Which means we can now trade masks with the moon moth. You got to be careful that going and doing specific things in the flood court and the library of parts can get you kicked off the island, so trade masks with the moon mask. It's been making some subtle overtures for some time. You only now understand them. An occurrence! Your visage, expert in parts quality, is now 4. Aware of moth roll. It draws you aside into a closet in the customs house. Had enough of visage? It tells you frankly, here, you take my mask and pretend it to be me, and I'll trade in the visitor mask and get on some departing ship. Get my life back. Here we go. Now we're the moth. And now we have some semblance of power on this island. So, if we visit the Temple of Aspis, this is where we can both get some cool stuff that we can use later and increase our expertise in parts. The Wounded God. In the center of the temple is a black bull with a white diamond on its face. It is tied in place with heavy ropes and is wounded in the thigh. From this wound, it bleeds copiously without dying. And now we need to observe and make notes so we get an intriguing snippet. The priest would be suspicious of anyone else who did this, but you, as Moon Moth, often have a need to narrate the rituals of visage to newcomers. The explanations in the Library of Parts are not suitable for strangers, and therefore you are expected to compose your own. Yay! And if we visit the Temple of Aspis once more and collect some of the blood for myself, we get an outlandish artifact which we can sell in London. The priests don't prevent you, but they aren't precisely pleased either. In fact, they are highly suspicious of why Moonmoth would want such a thing until you explain that you need it to educate some especially ignorant and impious visitors. Which is cool, because now we have outlandish artifact which we can sell, and this means that if we visit the side of the face now, we can get another intriguing snippet. By meditating, it offers many forms of inspiration. Flourishing in eternity, the citizens give many meanings to the face. Perpetual beauty, stasis, the idea of looking upwards into an unyielding darkness. But most of all, they speak of the idea of someone above looking down. The face is not convenient to view. The face is not convenient to view from down here. It would look its best from the perspective of the ceiling of the Unterzee, beyond reach. That's kind of meta, but now we have another intriguing snippet, and now, with expertise in part 7, we are aware of higher rolls, which means we can enter the hollow of the ear and participate in a ritual. The great stone face has been illuminated from forehead to chin with blazing torches so that the profile is visible from the side more clearly than you have ever seen it. Flourishing of years is awake, says the gentlest figure in the crocodile mask. We don't have a prayer, I mean flare, it's even same thing, right? But we need to fall in line with the others. Among your own, you go as though you were truly one of them. You carry nothing with you but your mask and your costume. May your heart be as light as a feather, says the woman in the lotus blossom mask, and you fall into line behind her. Inside the hollow of the ear, the road you follow leads up through switchbacks along the side of the face, and finally to the ear of the flourishing of years, and into the cave that is her ear. The tunnel bends back on itself, and all lights have now been extinguished. There is nothing to guide you but the hand of the person behind on your back and the movement of the person in front of you. The one who walks beside you wears a bat mask. Fortunately, the floor of the tunnel is very smooth and presents no stumbling blocks. Sound carries strangely in this place, however. Sometimes you cannot hear your own footsteps, and sometimes a breath comes back to you audible from someplace ahead in line. Now, do not try to run, because you don't know what's going on, but there is a secret in the dark. There's something very, very cool here. In line, the footsteps of the people are steady and synchronized, and you go together. For how many years has this been done, and for how many will it be done in the future? What's your step here, says the Bat Mask to you in an undervoice. Its accent is the accent of Woolstack docks. Floor is about to get squishier, and sure enough it does. We could be really rude and just giggle in their faces, but that's probably not the best option, seeing as we're here in secret, and waiting and listening is the most profitable option here. Deep within, at last the tunnel opens out. You and all the other congregants spread out into a cavernous space. A voice speaks in the darkness, a ritual preparation. Here, at the new year, we gather under the one mask of flourishing of years. Her face is turned up to the gods. Protected by her mask, we may remove our own. Protected by her script, we may speak outside of our parts. Here and there is a sound of people fumbling with ties and strings. Your own face feels different with the mask off. Not much for blackmail. You move stealthily through the dark, hearing one knot of conversation and then another. The secrets exchanged do not offer much leverage. You can't see the owners of the secrets. Here and there you catch the smallest fragment of something that might serve you on a future occasion. The memory of a voyage east, and a half-rumour about the Carnelian coast, a muttering about the Admiralty, and generally things that get you points to level up with, which is very nice. And now we do nothing, let things go on as they should do, because meddling with stuff generally doesn't end well in this game. At the end of the hour, there comes a woman with a feather of shimmering silver, which she tucks into your hand, symbol of the innocent heart that will not be eaten by the jackal. Then a bell rings, and the time of speech is over. You all begin to put your masks back on. It is possible, you cannot know for sure, that in this cover someone has exchanged a mask with someone else. It is an orderly and perfect line that emerges again from the ear of flourishing of years. If anyone watches from above, they must surely be satisfied. I know I am satisfied because now we have one captivating treasure which, if we sell it back in London, can make us 1,000 echoes, and that is a good start to this game. To have a little bit of cash. You can also use captivating treasures to turn them into heirlooms to pass them on to your next characters if you die. But if you want the cash, then it's probably just best to sell it. When the other citizens are distracted, you find your way to the familiar customs house and rid yourself of your mask and robe. There is satisfaction in laying aside a role well performed. So now we have zero terror and we're free to go about our business. Returning to London is going to net us a lot of cash. That is both an awesome and profitable storyline, and I think it's great that there's a very simple way of getting money from that story. It all works out in the end. Now to return to London and kind of cash in our sphinxstone, which you can run for quite a while. It's going to net you a couple of thousand echoes if you just go back and forth. It does end eventually though, so once you've got that money, you're going to want to invest it into something else. Or just go exploring, buy a ship or something. It's a really good jumping off point. Or you could follow me in my future Let's Play / tutorial thing where I teach you how to make even more money. So hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this amazing game, then subscribe and stay tuned for even more Let's Play goodness. So thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, don't go insane.